I love that. Is that the podcast episode?
Is that literally the podcast episode? Really? Like, don't. Hello and welcome to In Your Business, the place you can go to keep your business in the know. Today we have a very special guest, Tio.
Hello.
Tio is a double major student here at our university. She also does mock trial and is one of my closest friends. So welcome, Tio. So happy to have you here.
Why, thank you. I'm so happy to be here.
Yeah, well, today we're going to be talking about motivation and self-love.
And I got plenty of that.
That's why she's here. And those are two of the most important things to keep a healthy work-life balance, I feel.
Yes.
Do you agree?
Yes.
Okay, so Tio and I, we met.
Should I tell the story?
I would love for you to tell
Okay.
the story.
So, I allegedly was inebriated coming back from a party
Yes.
at my apartment building, Canyon Flats, because we don't live there anymore, so we can dox ourselves. And Alex was dropping off her friend at the front. And I think I asked you to leave the door open because you had that friend over, whatever.
Right.
And in the elevator, I don't know how we started talking. When I'm drunk, allegedly, I just talk to people. So I asked you, I think, about that guy, and then you were telling me about him or something like that. And we just got to talking, and she revealed that she lived in the apartment that my friends used to live in when we were in the dorm the year before that. So I was like, oh my god, I would love to see the apartment. So first time meeting, it's like midnight. She takes us to her apartment, and I go see her room, and I'm like, oh my god, like my friend Bobby used to live here, whatever. It looks so much better now, because obviously girl lives here now.
Right.
And yeah, and then we just like kept talking. I don't know how, but
Yeah, and then she invited me to my very first college party a couple days later.
Yeah.
And the rest is history.
The rest is history.
But yeah, I was doing like accounting homework with this dude, and we were grinding accounting homework. So I was like not in the proper state of mind. Obviously, I let her into my apartment for studying that.
I can't believe you would say that.
No, but honestly, I think you were my first like real friend in college. So,
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah, so she basically built me from the ground up.
I wanted to make sure she knew what college should be like, okay?
Exactly. And yeah, that really had a butterfly effect on my life.
Yeah.
Because like through you, I met my boyfriend here.
Yeah.
Ex-boyfriend here. And and then like, wow, so much has happened because of you.
I know, right?
So
It's kind of
thank you.
crazy.
I
I was not
know.
expecting that.
No, not at all.
Yeah. I was just
Well,
very
okay.
excited that somebody was living in the guy's apartment, and I was like, oh my god, what are the chances?
Oh my gosh, because there was a door in the apartment that was completely broken down, and we're like, what happened? Do you know? Yeah, I got on Barstool for our college, so they literally body slammed it and it crumbled.
Yeah, I showed her the video because I was like, don't worry, I know exactly what happened to your door and why it hasn't been changed. They were going to change it, and then they realized that the door was too long that they bought from like Home Depot or something.
This is the college boys trying to change the door.
Yes.
By the way.
Yeah, these are the college boys that didn't want to pay like for the damages, even though that was the least of their worries in terms of damages. So they went to Home Depot and they got too big of a door, and I don't know how they got it up the stairs or into the elevator. This is the 3rd floor. You got a little bit of a ways to go. And they realized it didn't fit, and I think they just gave up after that, and then the door never got changed. There was like a sheet.
I think they only changed it when someone moved in.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's our lore. It's a wild one. And then she left me and went to study abroad in Spain.
For a semester, guys. Come on.
But what a great opportunity. I know we've talked about it a little, but tell our people how that was for you in a motivational sense. What motivated you to get up and get out there and learn in such a different environment?
Okay. Yeah, I can tell you about that. It's very, I'm not gonna say like it's a disappointing story, but like it's not the like how people will say, oh my god, like I've been thinking about studying abroad for so long and I've wanted to do this for so long. I can't believe I'm having this opportunity. For me, it was more so like my professor told me that, hey, like you should study abroad. Like she was going into classes like poaching people for it. And I was like, oh, that sounds like super interesting. Like maybe I should do that. And then I got to talking to her and then she made it sound so great. So I was like, sure, I'll do it. And honestly, it was just my main motivation for it was the fact that I would be finishing like my Spanish major while I was there.
Right.
So after one semester, I'd just be like done with it, and then I can come back and focus on like my criminal justice stuff. So I think that's like what pushed me, was to be able to get it all done in like one semester. And also
fair.
great opportunity, guys.
Yeah, because you're practicing it every day.
Yeah.
In like a more practical sense.
Yeah.
Then where are the books at in your class?
I think I gained more like linguistic knowledge being in Spain than I did in like my 400 level reading courses, because like the semester before that I was in a class where we were reading like 19th century literature, and I was like reading it and I'm like, I just feel like this is not making me a better like Spanish student in some ways. But like going to Spain, I was like, okay, so I can survive if you throw me out in the wild. Like,
Right.
that's good to know.
That's gotta be like validating.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And then when my host mom was like, oh, your Spanish is so good, I was like, oh my god, I thought I would
What?
suck. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I was really scared because, you know, you don't think you're really good at something until you like put it in practice. And I would put it in practice in an academic sense, but not in like the real sense. So that's why like it was so validating and important for me to go, because it showed me like, hey, you got this, girl. Like, you can survive. So
That's great. Yay! I'm so glad you went, and it was a good opportunity for you, and you grew out of it.
Yeah,
That's all
me
that
too.
matters. Let's see. So, bouncing over to self-love, what does that mean to you, especially as like a busy student? You have a double major, you do mock trial, you have a lot going on. So, what does that look like for you?
Well, I guess like in a lot of ways, academically speaking, self-love just means I know when it's time, when I feel burnt out for the day, and it's time to like chill, watch something, take a little nap, and then maybe come back later, or even just like finish off for the day, because like I can always stay up the next day if I need to. But if I feel like today isn't it, I know that like I love myself more than I love that homework. So
Right.
obviously I'm like, I'm gonna go to bed now. That's what happened last night. I didn't end up finishing a lot of stuff, but I got enough that I had like an idea for my homework, and I was like, okay, I feel so tired, my brain is not gonna work, so I'm gonna chill for today. And then, you know, obviously I have my vices, I have my nicotine to help me through it. I do not condone that. Also, I am 21 for all of you watching.
Disclaimer.
Yeah, anything that I'm saying, I am 21, so keep that in mind. And also, you know, weed does help. I have routines that are for me personally. Like, I know that I have my mock Wednesdays and Thursdays, and then on Thursday, like, we'll go do something after.
Right.
And then on the weekends, I will, you know, take my little edible and then watch a movie. And that's my weekend plan, because that's my unwind time.
Right.
You know, so it's just like sticking to that is how I like show myself like some self-love, you know.
Yeah, and that's important that you know what works for you and what decompresses you.
But what about you?
Me, I feel like I work such crazy hours in the morning. Self-love for me is making sure that I am in bed at a reasonable hour. I sound like an old woman.
No, that's so fair.
But I open a coffee shop in the mornings, and it's like 3:30 a.m. to right up to the time where I need to leave for class at 11:30, and that's like a full shift before my full day of being a student. So that's a little crazy sometimes to manage. But I think on those days where I have super long days, not going to the gym for quite as long, getting to bed early, nourishing my body with something good for me is how I express self-love for myself. Sorry, Apple News is blowing me up. There we go. But another way is I get my homework done at least 24 hours before the due date, and that just helps me not forget, and that gives me peace of mind, which helps me have a more balanced mindset.
No, that's so fair, yeah.
But there's also something to be said for crunch time. Like,
Oh, dude.
I've never put out more quality work than in a crunch time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if I'm doing an assignment 2 weeks in advance, I'm like, it doesn't really matter. But when it's due in 17 minutes,
Oh, it's over.
quality work.
Dude, it's
I don't know
it's
what it is.
Wattpad style, bro. It's
Yeah.
gonna be real good.
Yeah, I don't know what it is about it, but don't do that all the time. But hey, like, I saw a quiz was due like a couple days ago at midnight. It was like 11:45. I was like, oh, well, let's go. Nailed it.
Absolutely nailed it.
So sometimes it's okay. So if you don't have everything lined up and you don't have Google Calendar invites for every single one of your activities, it's gonna be okay.
Yeah. I definitely feel like with crunch time, sometimes it's the fact that you're sitting there thinking about it for so long that gets your creative juices flowing. Because before that, you're like, oh, I didn't have to really think about it yet. But when it's crunch time, you're like thinking about it so hard that like you just get a good idea and then it all just goes from there.
I think so too. On the opposite end of that, in times where you have like self-doubt or self-doubt, how do you maintain like a positive outlook and keep going? What do you say to remind yourself that things are gonna be okay?
Well, I do have some unorthodox ways.
Okay.
And by that I just mean like I don't tell myself like, hey, you got this. It's more so like you're already like so deep into it. And by this I mean like my college degree and like my classes and stuff.
Right.
Like you're so deep into it. If you give up now, you just wasted all that money and time. So I'm like, I have to
That's
like
so
tough it
valid.
out. I have to tough it out like what a semester and a half essentially.
Yeah.
So that's one of like my bigger things.
I think that honestly a lot of college students do, because once you get past that halfway mark, I feel, of being in college, sucks for you. Finish it, because then you're just gonna have a half-eaten degree somewhere in your life.
Yep.
Who wants that?
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely agree with that. And for me personally, because there are days where I feel like a girl boss and a businesswoman, and like everything is just hot, sexy, gorgeous, brilliant. And then other days where I'm like, I'm gonna drop out.
That was me last night.
I could be a housewife. I would be a great mother and nothing else. Then I turn around and I'm like, ugh.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't do that because all these women before me have worked so hard for me to have this opportunity.
Those are.
Do that. So for me, it's like I'm so far into it, like you said.
Yeah.
Also, people before me have worked so hard for me to have this opportunity.
Yeah. For me, it's more of like a control thing, I guess. Because like if I were to tell myself like, hey, you can just find a rich man, come on now.
Come on now.
But then I'm like, but then he would be in charge of me because
Yeah.
he pays for everything. And I'm like, I'm not trying to do that. I'm trying to make my own money so that somebody else I'm in charge of. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I think that's every college girl or man has thought that at one time. Like,
Yeah.
what if I just found a sugar daddy
oh,
and
every day, bro.
everything would be fine? I've heard it more times than I can count on this college campus.
Oh, 100%.
Like people in front of an iPad like this. I wish I could just find a sugar daddy so I wouldn't have to study whatever the fuck this is.
Yeah.
So,
we can cuss?
I mean, sprinkle it in there.
Okay.
Classily.
I wasn't sure.
Thank you. Well, with the Playboy hat on, I mean, I figured
Okay,
you
but
would.
this isn't like cussing. This is like,
Oh.
this is tasteful. My other beanie that I have at home says "Don't be a pussy" with like a little cat.
Oh yes, I'm familiar.
So I think if I were wearing that, I would understand where you're coming from. But this is tame, guys. This is tame.
Right. Okay. So staying motivated through challenges.
Yes.
So you have 2 majors. You finished one in sustain, you have mock trial, and you said that you decompress at home regularly, you remind yourself, just get through it.
You got this.
But
Come on, guys.
you have a balance of like passion and discipline in your major, I
Yeah.
feel.
Which is not something that I would have expected out of myself.
Right. And how much of your drive is fueled by your passion and enjoyment versus like your routine and structure? What do you say?
I would say that I feel like it's about like it's a very good like 50-50, maybe like a 60-40 some days. It's a lot of like, I know that I can do a lot with my major in that I'm passionate enough that I could go to law school with it, or I can like go into criminal justice and then change something in the system that way. But then the other side, like the other 50%, like I enjoy my routines. I enjoy like, you have class from this time, between these times you do this, and then, you know, it gives me like a sense of, I don't know, like, I don't know what the word is for that.
Is it just routine?
Yeah, it's just like, it just keeps me like grounded. It keeps me like I'm not freaking out. Stability.
Right.
It makes me feel more stable, like an adult.
Yeah, and I'm a big fan of that word, as you know.
Yeah.
And I feel like having a structured routine can almost only do good for that.
Yeah.
But also having too structured of a routine can almost
Oh, yeah.
feel
Suffocating.
unproductive.
Unproductive, yeah.
Yeah. For me, like the days that I work, literally every hour of my day is blocked out.
Yeah.
But the days that I don't work, they're a bit more free, right?
Yeah, like you have a general idea, but it's not like a set thing. Like, okay, I have to do this, and then I have to do this, and I have to do this, and then
Right.
you're just working all day again.
So I feel like I have a good balance when it comes to that.
Oh, yeah.
But in my phone, it's kind of chaotic. I have one of those widgets that has like the Apple Calendar in it, and whenever anyone wants to hang out, I throw in.
Let me check my
Okay.
calendar.
Because I'll forget. I have so many things going on, so I'll throw it in there. I'll throw my conferences in there for business school. I don't throw my work schedule or my classes in there because that's just a lot. But any like thing outside of work or school, I'll throw it in there.
Yeah.
Just to keep everything balanced. I also have a paper calendar, like one of those ye old ones. I enjoy that. I use it less and less, but I think once I have a big girl job, I'll use one again and get flamed for it.
That's fair.
But yeah.
I definitely feel like I'm not the opposite, but like I have my planner that I put everything in, like Hangouts too and everything.
Right.
But then when I become an adult, I'm probably gonna start using like Apple Calendar and like Google Evite and shit like that.
Microsoft Teams.
Dude, don't even. I do not want to use Microsoft Teams ever in my life.
Sorry, the corporate world's coming for us and has Microsoft Teams on the mind.
It sucks.
But rolling off of that, I want to talk about goal setting and reflection because those are very powerful things. So, I have a little notebook next to my bed and I write down things that like worry me at night or things that I want to do the next day or things that I want to do ever. And it just like gets everything out on paper and it's like almost goal setting.
Yeah.
And then I structure those when I'm more awake.
Yeah.
I don't know if any of you do that. But
I do not, but I probably should because I have a lot of thoughts at night. Not like bad, but
Yeah.
just keeping me up.
it just keeps my mind more quiet. I don't think it really ever is quiet though.
No, I don't think I've had. Actually, when I'm high, it's real quiet up there.
There you go.
But
a tumbleweed passes through.
no, literally, like I'm sitting there and I'm thinking about something, and like next second it's over. Like that thought is gone, and I can't even get it back.
Right.
And then there's another thought. Like I just enjoy the fact that it's almost like a line. Like all the thoughts are waiting in line to be in my brain.
That's nice. They're not all at once.
Yeah, but usually they are all at once.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. What a great visual, guys.
I don't know how I thought of that, guys. I'm not even high right now.
But do you reflect or goal set? Reflect in a positive way? Or goal set in a positive way?
Definitely with goal setting, I'm more of a short-term goal setter than like a long-term, because the long-term, I have a general idea of what I want to happen, but I don't want to be like set. Like I have friends, like my friend Anthony, he's very much like, I'm gonna go to this law school and then I'm gonna like do the LSAT at this time, and then I'm gonna go work for this company, and then I'm gonna go do this, and then in 10 years I'm gonna be here. And I'm like,
respect for that.
No, definitely. Like I respect the hell out of that, but I could never, because I just feel like if I tell myself that this is how it's gonna be, this is how I want it to be, if it at all changes, it's just gonna freak me out, and I'm gonna feel like everything is ruined. So I just like, I know that I want to either get to law school or like maybe do a master's and get into criminal justice. So like I know that I want to have like a certain like type of profession, but I'm not like super set. So I just focus on like, here, let's get this essay done, and then we'll worry about everything else later.
That's fair. I feel like that's a very appropriate streamline of thought.
Yeah.
I used to be that type of person to like plan 5 years in advance.
Yeah.
But right now I just want to graduate. I can't.
That's so fair.
Like when I first came to this university, I was like, okay, I'll take this class this time, I'll graduate this year, then I'll go do this, and then I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then I think I gained some slight life experience, and I'm like, oh, so life sometimes hands you things, people, and situations that you didn't plan for.
Yeah.
That is shocking information as an 18-year-old. So,
I mean, just the fact that we met, I feel like was just a curveball.
No, for real. I respectfully, I don't think I would have pursued you out of a crowd of people.
No, definitely not. I mean, I don't talk to people like that unless I'm drunk and you're in the elevator with me. So
apparently, that's what it took. Yeah, and I just think the culture of this college does not invite people to mingle very much.
Oh, definitely not.
But if you have a personality, or you're trying to have a personality, or just trying to extend an effort to meet more people, it can happen. People are friendly, they just are scared of people.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of people like super nice or whatever, but it's just somebody has to take the first step, and it's usually not going to be the other person.
Yeah, so. People are pretty reserved.
Yeah, it's more so like everybody's minding their business, trying to get out of this respectfully shithole. So
hey, and I love it here, but I'm not gonna stay here forever.
Oh yeah. Like UNR itself is great, it's just everything else around it.
Exactly. So advice for you listeners out there. Tio has explained that you can integrate self-love in many different ways, whether that means telling yourself, hey, I've had enough of this for today, it's grinding on my mental health, put it down.
Yeah.
Because
you're not going to get anything done if you're already burnt out.
Yeah.
So just know yourself, you know?
Yeah, go to sleep at a reasonable time, please.
Oh, yeah. 12 is like the latest I'll go, unless it's like a weekend for me. Then like I'll excuse 2 or 3, but
yeah. Okay. Study hard, party hard. Okay? Both of those things. If you're not doing one, you cannot do the other.
Exactly.
Okay?
Meet people like me that will get you to party hard.
Exactly. And not to put you on, but meet people like me that'll make you say.
You need the study friend and you need the party friend.
Absolutely.
There needs to be a balance.
Yeah. I have an open-ended question for you. You can take it however you want. What is a piece of advice, or just like a little bit that you would have given to someone about to start their college journey, or at like any point in it?
I would say be very prepared for change, because like going to college is a change in and of itself, but within your college experience, so many things are going to change. I had my freshman year friends that aren't my friends now. I've had people that I thought would be there like the entire time that were there for like a semester at most.
Right.
You think you're gonna take one class next semester you're like, I can't wait to take criminal justice 444, and then you realize that it's not being offered.
Right.
So there's a lot of like you have to be ready to adapt to a lot of different situations. And I just like, obviously as an 18-year-old you're not gonna listen, because I wouldn't have listened if somebody told me like, oh, there's gonna be so much change, like, be ready for it.
Like,
I would have
okay,
been
whatever.
like, yeah, whatever.
Right.
Okay, we'll cross that bridge when we get to
I
it.
can handle change
Yeah,
every day.
but like, dude, even just moving to college, you will be crying, you will be missing home, because it's like, it's a big change. You're an adult now, you're on your own, you have to do your own laundry, you have to cook every single day, dude.
Feeding yourself is probably one of the hardest things for me.
100%. I just
Even
cooking.
if you enjoy cooking, it's like you have to feed yourself every single day. Every day. Life is a prison when we're on it. That is crazy. Every
Usually
day.
3 times. Well,
I usually
3 is healthy. 2 is what I do.
I usually eat in the morning and then I grind school and then I'll eat at night.
Yeah.
And then I'll have a little snack.
I'm a snacker as well. Thank you so much. I really
Appreciate it.
Do you have any advice for any youngsters out there?
For me, I feel this could go for anyone, but welcome any experience. Like, I came in here thinking that I knew who I was, and now I am sure of it because I've welcomed every experience that has come my way. Some of them I probably shouldn't have welcomed, to be super real with you, but it has made me learn exactly who I am as a person. I have entered so many contests and conferences that I know nothing about. I've won a couple of them.
Period.
I am just keep your mind open to learn something from every single person you walk next to, because life is rich and so full of potential, and you will get exactly from it what you put into it. I really feel. And let go of what no longer serves you.
Dude.
If you have a relationship, a situation, a habit that's just like holding you, let that shit go.
Literally.
And that sometimes takes days, weeks, months, years to do. But when you let go, you feel exponentially better.
Exactly. You will cry about it, but don't
Absolutely.
worry. Just give it a couple weeks and you'll learn that like obviously I'm sad about it, but it was what was best. So I'm glad I did it.
Right, and I think it's Bluey. It's like have a cry, pick yourself up, and go again.
Heck yeah.
I love Bluey, by the way. But anyway, thank you so much for coming
Thank you for having
on
me.
In Your Business Today, Tio. We are on Spotify.
Oh my god.
We are on Spotify now. At In Your Business NV, and also on YouTube, which is probably where you're watching this now. Anyway, thank you so much for joining us, and we will see you next time on In Your Business.
Bye.